Welcome to this explainer. Look, if you've ever stared at Arabic grammar and just felt completely overwhelmed by the sheer volume of words and forms, you are in exactly the right place. Today, we're demystifying Arabic grammar. We're going to stop treating it as this massive mountain of rote memorization. Instead, we're looking at it as a highly logical, almost mathematical system of building blocks. Like linguistic Legos. By the end of our time together, you'll see exactly how these blocks just snap right together.
So, here's our quick roadmap for today. We'll start with the foundation of Arabic words, then we'll hit jins, which is masculine and feminine. After that, adad, covering singular, dual, and plural. Then we'll tackle person, third, second, and first. And finally, we'll wrap up with tasrif, putting it all into practical application.
All right, Section 1, the foundation of Arabic words.
Okay, we really can't build an Arabic sentence without understanding two totally fundamental concepts. To actually get the language, you absolutely have to grasp siga and tasrif. Think of siga as the physical form or the structural shape of the word itself. It's the mold, right? Tasrif, on the other hand, well, that's the action. It's the dynamic transformation process of changing one word into another. You can't just know a word in Arabic, you gotta know exactly how it transforms. Mastering this process, it's literally the engine that drives the entire language. Moving right along, Section 2. Jins. Masculine and feminine. So let's examine the first major variable that alters a word's siyaha, or its form. This is the binary foundation of Arabic nouns and verbs. We have muzakkar, which represents the masculine form, and muannas, representing the feminine form. Every single time you construct a sentence or modify a verb, you have to run it through this active filter. You have to ask yourself, is the subject muzakkar or is it muannas? The structural shape of your word is going to physically change depending on the answer to that one fundamental question. Next up, Section 3. Add. Singular, dual, and plural. With gender sorted, we introduce our next essential building block, number, known in Arabic as adad. Now, what's really fascinating here is the middle step. In English, we basically just have singular and plural, one or more than one. But Arabic features a highly specific three-step number system. Step 1 is wahid, for a singular item. Pretty standard. But look at Step 2, tasniya. This is a totally unique dual form, used exclusively for exactly two items or two people. You only hit Step 3, jama, the plural, when you're actually talking about three or more. This incredible level of granular precision is honestly part of what makes Arabic such a rich, descriptive, and just brilliantly structured language. That brings us to Section 4. Person, third, second, and first. Our final foundational variable is the concept of person, and the Arabic naming convention here is incredibly logical. First we have ghaib, which represents the third person, but literally it translates closer to the absent person, like someone who physically isn't in the conversation. Next is hazir, the second person, meaning the present person you're speaking directly to. And finally, we have mutakallim, the first person, which simply means the speaker. You see, you weren't just memorizing dry grammar terms here. You're defining the exact physical reality of the conversation. Who's speaking, who's present, and who's absent. It makes perfect sense. And finally, Section 5, tasrif, practical application.
Okay, this is where all these individual blocks, gender, number, and person, snap together in tasrif. It's where the real magic happens. Let's watch how the root word samia, which means he heard, actively transforms based on our rules. Starting with a singular, masculine, absent person, it's just samia. But what if two men heard? Well, we drop down to that dual form we talked about, tasniya. And by simply adding an aleph to the end, it transforms into samyani. If a whole group of men heard, we add a suffix to make it samyu. Now let's apply the feminine filter. If a single female heard, we take the root samya, add a sakin ta to the end, and boom, it instantly snaps into samiyat. It really is a pure mathematical formula. You take the base root and you just plug in the appropriate suffix to perfectly reflect the gender, number, and person.
But, as intricate and highly specific as this system is, Arabic also knows exactly when to keep things simple. There's this fascinating exception, almost like a built-in linguistic pro tip when it comes to the first person, the mutakallim, or the speaker. When you're talking about yourself, using ana for I or nahnu for we, these words are completely gender neutral. They apply equally to both masculine and feminine speakers without changing their form whatsoever. No modifications needed. It's just a really wonderful moment of absolute linguistic efficiency built right into the core of the system.
I really want to draw your attention to a core insight from our source material here. Quote, through the memorization of these forms and repeated practice, mastery in Arabic grammar is achieved. When you truly realize that Arabic isn't just some chaotic list of millions of unique words to memorize, but rather a highly logical system of formulas, it completely shifts your entire learning mindset. Mastering this system is entirely within your reach. It literally just takes learning the base roots, memorizing those little transformer blocks, and dedicating a bit of time to practice snapping them together.
So, we've laid out the blueprint today. You've seen the logic behind the structural shapes of words, the binary of gender, that incredibly precise dual number system, and the literal physical presence of the speaker. Knowing how perfectly these linguistic Lego blocks fit together, my question for you to take away from this explainer is this: what verb will you choose to conjugate next? The whole system is just waiting for you to use it. Dive in, start experimenting with the formulas, and watch the entire language unlock right in front of you.